Hello again. So from today we are going to start another course which is basically a course of programming for non-programmers. But in this course we will not directly start from the coding, but initially some programming mindset will have to be developed at your end. Okay, the prime objective of this course is to generate or to develop the mindset which is able to program in any programming language. Okay, so in this course we will talk about different steps which you have to take during the programming. What are the steps which you have to take, what is the algorithm, what are the procedures. So let us start our course. So in starting our course we have to generalize our discussion to some points, and the first thing here we are going to discuss is the procedure. So what is basically a procedure? So procedure is basically the number of sequence of events in finite number of time. Okay, so that is called the procedure. So whatever you do in your whole life basically composed of some procedures, and these procedures will have to be accomplished during a finite number of time. Okay, so after procedure we go towards another very important terminology, and that is the algorithm. Okay, what is the algorithm? The algorithm is basically the step-by-step procedure towards the output, step by step procedure towards the output. Okay, so these are basically the two terminologies which I found very necessary to describe before starting our course here. So procedure and algorithm are basically interrelated, and many people basically find it very confusing to differentiate between these two. So I have defined them here. Okay, so let us start our discussion or our course by the first step. So let us have a scenario in which a person wants to log in to his Google account. Okay, like Gmail account or in any email account. Okay, so what are the steps for logging into his Gmail account? So the first step here would be that go to www.gmail.com. What he have to do, then he have to enter his email ID. This is step number 2. In step number 3, what he has to do, he has to enter the password. Okay, and then press login. Okay, so these are some steps which he should have to take in order to log into his Gmail account. So what are these? These are basically the procedure for getting into the Gmail account. Okay, so that is the procedure, and the steps which involve, all the procedure or steps which are involved for entering the Gmail account is also called the algorithm. So through all these steps we can log in to our Gmail account. A user can be logged in to his Gmail account. So in graphical representation, we can also represent it by using another way, which is called the flowchart. What is a flowchart? Flowchart is basically the visual representation of an algorithm. Okay, so now in order to log into the Gmail account, what he has to do, first of all, he should start what are these blocks and what is meant by all these block diagrams. I will again come into the detail, but let me put all the details first. So first of all, he has to start all the steps which he has to take in order to start the procedure. Then after starting, what he has to do, he has to input his email account. So he have to go to gmail.com. okay, then what he has to do, he has to enter. So this is another diagram here. So this is what, this is the rectangular diagram here, and this is the parallelogram. And here what he has to do, he has to enter his email ID. Then he has to enter in this paragraph password. Okay, so, and at the end he will log into his account, and that is the end. Okay, so now what is this? This is the visual representation of all the steps which we have taken in order to log in to the Google account. So that is the flowchart representation of all these procedures, and it is very handy to describe all these events by using the flowchart. So in using all those block diagrams, we had some very important diagrams there, and the first diagram there was the terminal. Okay, so what is basically the terminal? So if you recall, I have used this round edges block at the start or at the end of my flow chart, and that is called the terminal block here. Okay, so these are usually used for the start or end of our program or in our flow charts. Okay, so second number diagram was the input or output block, and it is represented by this parallelogram. Okay, and this is used for taking the input from a user or giving output to the user. So that is the input output block. The third one here is the process block, and process block is basically a rectangle which is used for the present or to illustrate different processings which has been carried out by any process. Okay, the fourth one is the decision diagram which we will use, and this is used to illustrate the decisions, and it is basically this diamond shaped diagram, and it basically shows different paths that if something is true, it will follow one path, while if the statement is false, it will follow through the other path. Okay, so that is the decision block here. The fifth one here is the connector, which is represented by this round shaped circle, and it is used to connect different blocks which are used in the processing step. And the last one here is the important one, and that is used to show the control flow and these are basically the arrows which are either from left to right, or from right to left, or from down to top, or from top to bottom. Okay, so these are basically the control flow diagrams. Okay, so these are some diagrams or some terminals which will be used inside the flow charts, which I will use in our algorithm description course. Okay, so I think it's understandable, and I will see you with some more question in our next video. Thank you so much.